Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this don't work without you guys, man. This is the morning after.
Somebody, can I say this?
Go ahead and say whatever you like.
Okay, this guy who has a Dallas Cowboy on my channel logo says I'm rooting for the Washington football team now. I was like, what? I was like, I told him, are you serious?
Why would he say that?
I have no idea. He said it on my last video, on the Des Bryant video. I was like, what?
You know what? I've been. There's idiots out there. I've had people saying, "Oh, he's really a closet Washington fan," you know, because he's not from Dallas. Man, get the fuck out of here.
No.
Bull crap. No.
I never.
You know, I just finished talking to one of my brothers who's a Washington fan, who's riding me, of course, and you know, my cousin Daniel and things like that. I grew up in the Washington D.C. area, and I've seen it all. You know, I literally first experiences of life, first memories that I have are doing stuff with my dad. My dad used to have this red convertible car. I can't remember what kind of car it was, but when I was like 2 years old, if he was going to the store, I was riding with Dad. And I remember this because they said I was like 2 years old, but I remember being on the porch crying because my dad worked at the Postal Service and he worked the night shift, and he was leaving, and I was crying because I wanted to go with Dad. I remember, I want to go with Dad, and I think they said I was like 2 years old, and he was going to work, and so that killed me being able to go riding anymore. They're like, oh, you gonna be crying like a baby? You ain't going no more. But I remember sitting on the couch with my dad rooting on the Cowboys because the Washington football team, even though the NFL integrated in 1948, that's when first black players, people that looked like him, were on the field. The Washington team in the 60s still didn't have any. And my dad is like, how can I support a team that is doing that? And that's why he was a Cowboy fan. Now, if you want to call me a bandwagon, I guess I got on my dad's bandwagon because at that time the Cowboys had not won a Super Bowl. In fact, there was only a couple of Super Bowls that were there. The Cowboys had lost not just in the Ice Bowl to the Packers, they lost the next year to the Packers as well in the NFC Championship game. And they were known as the team that couldn't win the big one. And when they finally went to their first Super Bowl against the Colts, they got their ass handed to them. They lost that one. So I've been a fan of the Cowboys all that time, even though I'm not from Dallas. But I can tell you what, all you jackasses out there that talk about, you know, you can't be a real Dallas Cowboy fan, I tell you what, I have two, not one, but two stones with my name and Joe Boo Sports Report around the stadium there. I put my money where my mouth is. So don't give me this crap that you're not really a Cowboy fan. I ain't got shit when it comes to the Washington football team. I wouldn't want to own an 8x8 piece of that trash. And never in my life have I rooted for the Washington football team. Even when I had the opportunity to sit and watch the Cowboys Washington game in Joe Gibbs' box, all I had to do was root for the Washington team. And guess what? I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it and wouldn't do it. But back to this Cowboys situation. I have been this fan all my life. I have seen so much. And I'm sitting here watching what I'm seeing. I understand injuries. We've gone through injuries before. We've had the team and things look terrible and stuff. We've had defenses that couldn't stop people. But I'm beginning to think that we have been bamboozled, flim-flam, led astray, run amok with Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy sold us on how he broke down film.
That and I think the other problem too is to let him pick all his coaches. I think that was a mistake.
Mike McCarthy, I think, has sold us a pile of shit. That he is a snake oil salesman. You know, he told us, oh, I was out for a year. I broke down film, every single play of the Cowboys. I'm into analytics now. But here's the shocking truth. Since the last time the Packers beat the Cowboys, I think in 2018, when Mike McCarthy was coach, he is 7-21. 7-21. And you look now at these coaching hires where they haven't really done great things. Now, I know the idea is, well, you got to give more than 1 year. I just want to say this much. When you look at what happened to us twice from that Washington football team, that team they're saying you're a fan of, that team, you couldn't, in the beginning of the season, think that they would be anywhere near where the Dallas Cowboys are. Both of us had the same situation. We had new coaching staffs coming in, right? Right? Your starting quarterback for Washington was Haskins, and he stunk. Then you went to Kyle Allen. He gets injured. You're on your third guy, a guy who literally should be comeback player of the year. You didn't look at that. You got rid of AP, your other running back, got into trouble with the NFL, got, banned basically. You went into the season without a running back, without a quarterback, without wide receivers. But yet somehow that team with Ron Rivera has literally turned things around. They have literally kicked our ass. They are literally a better coach team than we are with lesser talent. So as I look here with the defense that has literally given up almost 300 yards twice on the ground, that literally I've got guys that are out there doing the swipe and things and patting each other on the back when they're getting their lunch handed to you. When I look at a team that literally can't make a field goal, I have to start looking and saying, maybe with 2020 being the year that it is, getting rid of Mike McCarthy might not be the worst idea. Because I can't look and say there's anything that Mike McCarthy this year has instilled on this team. Can you? I can't. So with knowing that we've got currently 10, 11 draft picks, possibly a top 5
maybe more
draft pick, right? I mean, if we lose to Cincinnati, because I'm not sure we can beat Cincinnati right now. I'm not sure we can beat Cincinnati right now. That's how bad we are. And maybe we don't want to beat Cincinnati. But maybe what you need is, with all of this draft capital, you bring in a real football coach and guy who's a GM who has a plan. Okay, because here's the problem. You can want to do all you want. You can want to do all you want, but if you don't have a plan and a vision, you're not going to achieve anything. This is what I'm dealing with my brother, who had some great ideas, had all kinds of skills, but didn't have a plan on how to get it done. And that's why it's just kind of, the Cowboys are just kind of marred in this mud, that they can't seem to get this stuff together, that it seems like, it doesn't matter who we have here, and it's not a matter of not having talent here, because we've seen guys that have been here that have gone elsewhere and succeeded. Now, I know Jason Garrett, you're going to say, well, he's not the head coach, but as an offensive coordinator, he's taking the little that they have and doing enough with it to come up with a plan.
He's doing more the way he did Dallas. And I think that's the culture. Because Mike McCarthy looks just as lost as Jason Garrett did when he was here.
Yeah. So to me, what they always taught us, I remember in high school, because there's things that happen to you, or things that are said to you that get burned into your brain. But I remember in high school, one of our football coaches told us, he said, there's nothing worse than making a mistake at half speed. If you're gonna fuck up at full speed. Seriously. At least be going full bore ahead. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake, but at least you're not wasting time. And see, this is where I think we messed up getting Mike McCarthy and saying, let's give him another year.
And let him
see.
No. And pick all his coaches.
Right. Well,
I think that was the biggest
and be
mistake.
part of picking the players in the draft. You're going to go ahead and continue to set us back, because this goes back to Jason Garrett being being a quarterback coach, 1 year being an offensive coordinator for us, and now he's the head coach with no experience. And we had 8-8, and then we kept saying, let's give him another year, and all of a sudden, all of these years get stacked up, and all of a sudden, you've wasted time. I think you need to say, you know what, Mike McCarthy, you got paid. Let's just buy out your contract and let's start over and get somebody in now while you can go ahead and say there's no damage done right here, the person who has this vision will have an opportunity with this easy schedule, with draft picks and things, to decide if they want Dak Prescott or try and get somebody else. But at least put in place real football people, because what we have done for the last 25, now 26 years stinks. And it hurts to holy heaven watching my team being this atrocious. You got anything to add to that? Yeah. It's time to go in a different direction for Mike McCarthy. All right, y'all.
Wait, is Christian Sharp still on the market?
Yeah.
For defensive coordinator? I'll take him for defensive coordinator.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I'll catch you later.